Hello everyone, we are going to introduce to you the School of the Future.
Aristotle, one of the most influential philosophers, logicians, and scientists of antiquity, a thinker who sought to base human knowledge on experience. He was considered by many a great encyclopedic author and the most influential philosopher of Western philosophy. Besides, being along with Plato and Socrates, he was able to suggest that education, genetics, and habits are factors that influence training during personal development. He founded the Lyceum of Athens in the year 336 before Christ. The main difference between the academy and the Lyceum was the approach they gave to their studies. Plato and his academy were focused on teaching subjects about mathematical studies. Aristotle and the Lyceum esteemed the natural science more. Now the five-period educational plan. First, childhood, the stage of raising the youngest, all based on assessment of the field of play for development both physically and intellectually in the early stages of formation. Second, development of good habits. Teaching children through habits form an excellent human being that becomes common reason and something totally innate in them. Third, deepening good habits. Once reached at a certain age, young people have a better perception of their actions. This was a period of public education with subjects like gymnastics, reading, writing, music, and drawing. Fourth, the liberal education. Here we find the most important terms that define Aristotle as a great thinker, the Lyceum. In it, he taught mathematics, logic, metaphysics, ethics, music, physics, and biology. Music was always considered a vital element in character formation and fostered emotional purification. Fifth, adaptation to society. We believe that Aristotle measures to be taken, bearing in mind that many are already used in formal education. The important thing is to improve these measures by applying concepts from the other thinkers to create an education focusing on science and human development, to improve the intellectual capacity of individuals and their interpersonal relationships, and to create a world in which the only border that exists to grow educationally and personally is the language.
Maria Montessori was an educator that stands out for her learning method. In fact, the Montessori method was oriented towards children learning and was based on the acquisition of knowledge using concrete and ordinary items so the children could relate the new things they learn with objects they will see or be in contact with every day. Besides that, this method will promote freedomness within boundaries, gathering together kids from different ages. While on the other hand, this method will encourage the self-learning process, seeking for the kids' recognition of their own mistakes, leaving the teacher role as an observer and guide through the children's learning process. In this order, this method was divided in toddler, primary, elementary, and adolescence. Well, first of all, toddler was based on provide a safe, engaging, and nurturing environment for the child. Second, primary was based on the foster the growth of functional independence, task persistence, and self-regulation. While in the third place we got elementary, and it was based on offer opportunities for collaborate intellectual exploration in which the child interests are supported and guided. And in the last place we got adolescence that is based on provide context for practical application of academics.
Paulo Freire. He was a Brazilian educator and philosopher who was leading advocate of the critical pedagogy. So, why Freire's ideas are important for us? Because he introduced these two concepts, banking education and problem-posing education. The first one established the teacher as the only one capable of transmitting knowledge. Also, students are responsible to memorize the information provided by the teacher and repeat it. And finally, teacher expounds on a topic completely alien to the existential experience of the students. An alternative to banking education is problem-posing education. Here, students are given problems related to the information given, and they are made to think in order to solve the problems. In problem-posing education, people develop their power to receive critically the way they exist in the world with which and in which they find themselves. They come to see the world not as a static reality, but as a reality in process, in transformation. As a result, students learn.
Another important character for his more current ideas on education is Sir Ken Robinson. He was a British author, speaker, and advisor about education issues like quality of teaching, innovation, and human resources. Robinson firmly believes that creativity is a central element of what sets humans apart from other forms of life. So, educators' mission should be to bring out the unique creative energy within each child. He has several interesting talks in which he expresses his ideas, like schools kill creativity, and others just as shocking. We know that there are 9 types of intelligence, but that only 2 of them are handled at school: mathematical, logical, and linguistic. So then we are destroying the passion towards other equally important branches and therefore homogenizing the population. Another question he asked himself was, how can we measure what happens in a changing world from an exam? He believed in a new educational system, since the current one is outdated and contains many problems. So, I ask you the question, what do we really need to accompany children in their education process? And the solution is a change. With all the aforementioned, a new educational development is important, which has been called the School of the Future. In this slide, we are going to talk about the aims and vision of the school. That's why we are going to talk about the main governance policies of the school. The most important thing that we want to give kids is freedom in their ability to act and in their way of learning interactively with others, awakening creativity and passion for learning. There will be no uniforms in our school, as we believe that the way you dress influences your thoughts as well. A certain type of order is needed. Even though we want children to be free, we must guarantee respect for others, which is why a coexistence manual is necessary. The logistical aspects of the school are 15 students per class and only one teacher in charge of guiding the children in their process. The schedule is 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. There will be a lunch space and 2 recreation breaks to eat between meals. Finally, we have to ensure the safety of the child. That's why we have safe spaces for them, which will be discussed later. We want our idea to reach all parts of the world, and that all kinds of children from 5 to 10 years old, regardless of their race, can learn and communicate with others without racial prejudice.
In order to help in students' academic process, we have an architecture characterized by modern by designs, sport and recreation spaces to promote the physical development, gardens and green areas, and finally technology rooms. On the other hand, we have learning spaces based on Montessori classroom. In Montessori's elementary classroom, students work individually or in small groups at tables or on the floor. It's important that natural lighting, soft colors, and included spaces set the stage for activity that is focused and calm. Finally, learning materials are arranged on accessible shelves according to curricular areas. The classroom is a happy community. Students are focused, they take joy in their work, they invent, explore, experiment, compare, create, prepare, and correct with books.
Now we're going to talk about some topics about the School of the Future, collecting the most important ideas of all thinkers. We consider that the construction of the School of the Future must be constituted in the following way.
First of all, we got learning and teaching. We think that students should learn from themselves. And, well, in the second place, we think that teachers should motivate students to improve their freedom to create. And we also think that teachers should take on the role of guides. We also think that another part that is important in education is materials and curriculum. Well, all curricula should be focused on the students. This means that the curricula should be focused on the developing of the students' skills.
Last, evaluation and assessment, which means tolerance. Not all people have the same learning process, so we must understand and accept each other's processes.